here in Miami.
Somebody in the building, it's gonna get dark. I'm trying to get sexy, and I'm trying to see some big booty butt cheeks tonight. You shitting me?
Myth, or if this is true, but I'm told that when you go to a hotel, anytime you go to a hotel, you don't just check in the way everybody else does. You send someone ahead to prepare the hotel room for you.
It's called preparing the sexy.
You thought you'd heard it all about Diddy's infamous freak-off parties? No, actually deeply troubling details are just surfacing. Federal agents are now involved, reaching out to testify in an effort to unravel the truth about what really went down during these scandalous events. The rumors swirling around are far more disturbing than anything we've heard before. While Diddy has always been known for throwing some wild, over-the-top parties, what insiders reflect is a much darker, more sinister secret that could shake the entertainment world to its core. Please keep calm to listen to it. According to sources, federal authorities are reportedly building a case centered around these notorious freak-off parties, and witnesses are finally coming forward to share their stories. But what they're describing goes far beyond mere debauchery. The events in question were allegedly rife with out-of-control behavior, and there are whispers of activities that teeter on the edge of satanic rituals and full-blown exploitation. These new revelations are casting an even darker shadow over an already controversial figure, and it's beginning to seem like these parties were not just about high-profile people letting loose. There was something far more insidious at play. The unsettling allegations don't stop there. One particularly chilling account comes from a man who, using the social media platform X, posted a video that sent shockwaves through the internet, at least until it was swiftly removed. In the video, the man claims that Diddy had been using footage from these freak-off sessions to blackmail powerful executives and celebrities who were involved. According to him, Diddy had a collection of tapes documenting the compromising behavior of these high-profile figures, and he used this footage as leverage to control or silence them. What's more alarming is that this man's account was completely erased from the platform soon after he made these claims, leading to speculation that forces behind the scenes are working hard to suppress any potential leaks. This level of secrecy and the swift removal of the video have only fueled further speculation that Diddy might just be a small piece of a much larger puzzle. If what the witnesses are saying is true, then it's likely that Diddy wasn't acting alone, and that the parties involved some of the most powerful and influential individuals in the entertainment industry, and beyond. People are now beginning to wonder if these figures are working behind the scenes to ensure that their involvement never sees the light of day. Adding to the intrigue, Diddy has recently been placed on close supervision, which has raised even more eyebrows. Some are speculating that this precaution is not just about protecting Diddy from himself, but also about shielding him from external influences that might prefer he remain silent before more sensitive information comes to light. Comparisons are being made to the case of Jeffrey Epstein, the financier who passed away under controversial circumstances while awaiting trial. Many believe that Epstein's situation involved more than just a personal decision, hinting at external intervention to prevent further revelations about those involved in his activities. Now, with Diddy under similar supervision, there is growing speculation about whether he might face similar challenges in bringing certain truths to light. In recent weeks, Diddy's infamous freak-off parties have become the subject of countless jokes, memes, and sketches. Social media has been flooded with images poking fun at the parties and the surreal detail of 1,000 bottles of baby oil, turning what was once a hush-hush rumor into viral internet fodder. But beneath the surface, there is nothing funny about the situation unraveling around Diddy and these notorious events. What we're witnessing is a dark, unsettling glimpse into just how twisted and dangerous the entertainment industry can be when power and privilege collide with unchecked desires. For years, stories about Diddy's wild parties have swirled through the entertainment world, with many brushing them off as nothing more than tabloid exaggeration. However, the new revelations about what really happened at these events are much more sinister than most could have imagined. These weren't just hedonistic parties where high-profile figures indulged in excess. What's being described now is something far more disturbing. It's becoming increasingly clear that these events weren't just about having a good time, but were spaces where the boundaries of morality, ethics, and even legality were repeatedly crossed. At the heart of this dark story is the harsh reality that powerful individuals, those who control the industry from behind the scenes, often engage in behavior that's not only morally questionable, but outright dangerous. These are people who seem willing to go to great lengths to satisfy their twisted desires, and Diddy, with all his wealth and fame, may just be one of the many pawns in a much larger game. The freak-off parties once whispered about in gossip circles have now become the focal point of a potential scandal that could expose some of the entertainment industry's deepest and darkest secrets. While Diddy's name is all over the headlines, there are whispers that there are much bigger, more powerful figures who are feeling the pressure as these revelations come to light. If the allegations are true, Diddy may not have been acting alone. There are likely a host of other high-profile individuals who were also deeply involved in the shady activities that occurred at these parties. And now that Diddy is facing serious legal scrutiny, those powerful figures are reportedly sweating bullets at the thought of what might happen next. The possibility that Diddy could start talking, revealing the names and activities of those involved, has sent shockwaves through certain circles. Many believe that if Diddy chooses to cooperate or if enough evidence is uncovered, the fallout could be massive, potentially implicating major executives, celebrities, and other influential figures in the industry. These individuals, who have enjoyed protection due to their wealth and connections, could suddenly find themselves in the crosshairs of both the law and the public. The stakes couldn't be higher, and it seems as though Diddy is at the center of it all. According to the New York Post, Diddy's current mental state is unclear. Although there's no immediate indication of self-harm, the precaution has raised suspicions and fueled an already intense conversation around the possibility of foul play. Given Diddy's involvement in what some allege is a deeply twisted extortion scheme, it's no surprise that people are drawing comparisons to the case of Jeffrey Epstein, whose death in a Manhattan jail remains one of the most controversial moments in recent history. Epstein, as many recall, was reportedly found dead in his jail cell in 2019, with authorities ruling it a self-harm. But from the moment the news broke, few believed the official story. Epstein wasn't just a disgraced financier. He was the gatekeeper of a web of secrets involving the world's most powerful figures. From celebrities to politicians, Epstein had dirt on people who occupied the highest echelons of power. Many believe his death was orchestrated to prevent him from revealing more about the dark dealings of this elite group. Much like Epstein, Diddy is now at the center of a swirling storm of allegations, many of which suggest that he, too, was involved in a covert blackmail operation. Epstein was notorious for using his infamous parties to lure high-profile individuals into compromising situations, often involving underage individuals, and then allegedly using that footage as leverage. The parallels are eerie. Diddy is accused of throwing similarly debauched parties, dubbed freak-offs, where celebrities, executives, and other influential figures indulged in bizarre and sometimes illegal behavior. And now, rumors are circulating that Diddy, like Epstein, may have kept records, possibly even videos, of these encounters, which he could use to blackmail attendees. The Epstein comparison doesn't stop with the allegations of blackmail. If you dig deeper into Epstein's background, you'll uncover a much more complex and chilling story. Epstein wasn't merely an opportunist exploiting the powerful for financial gain. There is strong speculation that he was working with international intelligence agencies, particularly from a certain foreign country. His ties to Ghislaine Maxwell, a British socialite, and Epstein's alleged accomplice point to an even darker undercurrent. Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, was a media mogul who has long been suspected of having ties to foreign intelligence. It's believed that Epstein and Maxwell were operating at the behest of these agencies, using their blackmail operation not just for personal gain, but to exert political influence on behalf of foreign powers. Sources within Hollywood are suggesting that Diddy was engaging in tactics eerily similar to those used by Jeffrey Epstein. What started as mere rumors about his infamous freak-off parties is now morphing into something far more sinister. These gatherings, which many thought were just extravagant celebrations filled with excess, might have actually served as a front for a disturbing blackmail operation that could implicate some of the biggest names in the industry. The allegations suggest that Diddy wasn't merely throwing lavish parties for the sake of indulgence. Rather, he was allegedly luring influential figures into precarious situations that could be exploited later. Just like Epstein, who used his elite connections to invite powerful individuals into compromising scenarios, Diddy may have been operating under a similar playbook. The idea that these parties weren't just about pleasure, but were designed as traps to ensnare the powerful, is sending shockwaves through the industry. There's growing speculation that attendees were not only unwitting participants in debauchery, but potential victims of a much larger scheme that involved coercion and manipulation. Now, as more details emerge, the entertainment industry appears to be in a state of panic. Those at the top, the executives, the moguls, the A-list celebrities, are reportedly terrified that if Diddy decides to cooperate with authorities or simply spills the beans, the fallout could be catastrophic. The fear is that Diddy holds a treasure trove of information about powerful individuals engaging in behavior they desperately want to keep hidden from the public eye. The potential for a domino effect where one revelation leads to another is keeping industry insiders on edge. But how do we know that he was allegedly running a blackmail operation? While there is no definitive proof yet, a plethora of clues and hints dropped by various industry insiders paints a concerning picture of the notorious freak-off sessions. These events, previously dismissed as mere wild parties, are increasingly being viewed as potential fronts for something far more sinister. The alarming aspect of this situation is the growing sense of intimidation surrounding those who attempt to expose the truth about Diddy and the high-profile individuals who allegedly participated in these parties. Reports suggest that anyone who tries to come forward with information is being silenced, creating an atmosphere of fear that mirrors the culture of secrecy often associated with powerful figures in Hollywood. This is not just speculation. Several accounts indicate that whistleblowers may be facing significant backlash for their efforts to unveil the darker realities of the industry. One particularly intriguing figure in this unfolding drama is a user on X known as @AorMajor420. This individual, who claims to work within the music industry, has been dropping hints about Diddy's parties long before Cassie initiated her lawsuit back in November. In their posts, @AorMajor420 expressed a sense of urgency and frustration, indicating that the public has no idea how deep the corruption and exploitation run in the entertainment business. This user frequently posted cryptic messages about anticipating a day when Diddy and his music executive allies would be exposed for their alleged misdeeds. The presence of such a whistleblower is telling. It suggests that there are others within the industry who share similar sentiments but are perhaps too fearful to speak out publicly. The fact that this individual had been warning about Diddy's dark dealings before the recent legal troubles became public adds weight to their claims. Many are now revisiting these posts as the narrative shifts, with people eager to piece together the clues that might shed light on the truth behind Diddy's extravagant parties and the alleged blackmail operation. However, the conversation around Diddy also brings to light a troubling dynamic in society: the tendency for fans and followers to defend wealthy celebrities at all costs. In the past, any criticism directed toward Diddy or other high-profile figures was often met with backlash, as supporters rushed to label critics as envious or bitter. This worship of wealth has created a toxic environment where it becomes increasingly difficult to have honest conversations about accountability. But now that Diddy is facing serious allegations and has been placed behind bars, there seems to be a seismic shift in public sentiment. People are beginning to question the status quo and are more willing to listen to those who have been sounding the alarm for years. Also, according to Iora Major 420, one of Diddy's first notorious parties involved inviting a cadre of high-powered Jewish executives from the music industry. However, the account took a chilling turn when it was alleged that Diddy had laced their drinks with a substance that led to reckless abandon, effectively making everyone at the party lose their inhibitions. What followed was reportedly a spiraling descent into a full-blown orgy, where chaos reigned and boundaries were blurred. But Diddy's intentions went beyond mere revelry. The implication was clear. He was not just there to join in the festivities. The video claimed that he recorded the entire event, capturing the debauchery as it unfolded. This was not merely a night of indulgence. It was the beginning of what some allege to be a carefully orchestrated blackmail operation. Diddy, it is said, used these recordings to blackmail the executives, leveraging the footage to gain influence and make significant moves in an industry notoriously rife with power dynamics and manipulation. This revelation raises unsettling questions about the ethics of power in Hollywood. If Diddy indeed built his early influence on such underhanded tactics, it would cast a long shadow over his subsequent career. The very foundation of his rise to fame and fortune might rest on these alleged acts of coercion, suggesting a darker reality behind the glamorous facade of the entertainment industry. However, the story doesn't end there. After posting this explosive video, at Iora Major 420's account was swiftly removed by X, effectively erasing the evidence before it could gain traction or be widely viewed. The speed at which the account was taken down was telling. It left little room for discussion, and no one was able to capture a screen recording before it disappeared. This act of censorship has led to further speculation about the lengths to which those in power will go to silence dissent or protect their interests. Even without the video, whispers of Diddy's alleged blackmail parties have circulated online for quite some time. This isn't merely a flash-in-the-pan story. It reflects a long-standing narrative about the underbelly of Hollywood. Independent journalist Ian Carroll has previously shared several videos exploring the rumors surrounding Diddy's alleged blackmail ring, claiming that such operations have been a part of Hollywood culture for decades. His investigations into the dark corridors of power and influence suggest a systemic issue, where powerful individuals engage in questionable behavior, often with little accountability. There is a problem that many people commenting on these allegations may not fully grasp the implications of such a situation. There's a tendency to dismiss discussions about the connections between blackmail, organized crime, and certain cultural dynamics, particularly when it comes to the portrayal of marginalized communities in rap music. For example, the historically anti-gay rhetoric often found in rap is a reflection of broader societal attitudes and fears, which can be traced back to systems of power that have used sexuality as a weapon of control. The intersections between these cultural elements and the alleged blackmail practices hint at deeper societal issues rooted in the manipulation of vulnerability for the sake of power. Moreover, understanding the ties between Israel and Epstein and the legacy of blackmail provides further context. Epstein's connections to high-profile individuals, including politicians and wealthy elites, illustrate how blackmail operates as a tool for maintaining influence and control. The implication is that such practices are not isolated to one individual or group, but are rather embedded in the very fabric of power dynamics in both politics and entertainment. The music industry, like other sectors, has been complicit in these structures, often turning a blind eye to abuses in favor of maintaining the status quo. The lawsuit against Diddy has, therefore, brought to light not only individual wrongdoing, but also systemic issues within the industry. It reveals a web of exploitation that extends beyond a single figure, implicating a network of powerful players who may have engaged in similar behaviors. As the allegations unfold, there is a pressing need for accountability and transparency. If Diddy is found to have engaged in these acts of blackmail, it will not only tarnish his legacy, but could also serve as a catalyst for broader scrutiny of the music industry's practices regarding consent, exploitation, and accountability. To fully grasp the intricate history of organized crime, law enforcement, and the pervasive influence of blackmail in the United States, one must look closely at two pivotal figures, J. Edgar Hoover and Meyer Lansky. Their intertwined legacies reveal a complex web of power, corruption, and manipulation that has shaped American society and its institutions. J. Edgar Hoover was the first director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, a position he held for an astonishing 48 years, beginning with the Bureau of Investigation, BOI, in the 1920s. Hoover's tenure spanned some of the most tumultuous periods in American history, from the Great Depression through World War II and into the social upheaval of the 1960s and 70s. He was instrumental in shaping the FBI into a powerful investigative agency, but his methods were often mired in controversy and corruption. Hoover was known for his ruthless tactics, including wiretaps, surveillance, and intimidation, which he utilized against not only criminals but also political dissidents and civil rights activists. Hoover's obsession with power and control led him to collect damaging information on countless individuals, including politicians and influential public figures. This strategy of gathering secrets to wield leverage and maintain his position of authority played a significant role in the FBI's operations during his leadership. However, Hoover was not just an enemy of organized crime. He was also deeply entangled with it, especially through his interactions with figures like Meyer Lansky. Meyer Lansky, a key player in the Jewish mob during the Prohibition era, is often regarded as the architect of organized crime in America. He was a brilliant financier and strategist, involved in the establishment of numerous gambling operations and the development of the Las Vegas Strip. But Lansky was also notorious for his ability to manipulate and control the levers of power, including law enforcement. The audacity of Lansky's operations was exemplified in his alleged blackmail of J. Edgar Hoover. It is said that Lansky, aware of Hoover's personal life and preferences, used this knowledge to blackmail the FBI director himself. This shocking twist of fate highlighted the irony of a crime boss outmaneuvering the very person tasked with dismantling organized crime. By leveraging his hold over Hoover, Lansky not only secured his own safety and operational freedom, but also underscored the corruptibility of the highest levels of law enforcement. Similarly, Diddy's rise to prominence in the music industry is a story filled with ambition, success, and now, increasingly troubling allegations. At just 24 years old, he founded Bad Boy Records, which quickly became one of the most influential and successful labels of its time. This meteoric rise can be attributed not only to Diddy's entrepreneurial spirit, but also to the significant backing of his mentor, who played a critical role in his early career. However, the recent lawsuits, particularly the one filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie, have cast a shadow over his legacy, revealing a darker side to his ascent in the music world. Diddy's mentor recognized his potential in the music industry, spotting him when he was still working in marketing at a record label. It's alleged that this mentor saw Diddy's questionable morals and reckless ambition as assets. Diddy was characterized as someone willing to push boundaries, engage in morally ambiguous activities, and even resort to violence if necessary. This ruthless pursuit of success is not uncommon in the music industry, where cutthroat competition often blurs the lines of ethics. However, it raises critical questions about the nature of the relationships and alliances formed in the industry, particularly those that involve manipulation and coercion. As Diddy ascended to the role of a record executive with Bad Boy Records, He was surrounded by a culture that allegedly facilitated blackmail operations. Over the past 3 decades, whispers have circulated regarding Diddy's involvement in a network of power dynamics within the rap industry that went far beyond simple business dealings. His ability to control narratives and leverage information about artists and industry executives alike painted a picture of a man who was not just a music mogul, but a puppeteer in a much larger game. The narrative surrounding Diddy and his record label becomes even more troubling when considering the artists he promoted. Figures like Usher, Meek Mill, and even Justin Bieber have found themselves intertwined in this storyline, raising questions about the pressures and expectations placed on them. Usher's career, for instance, flourished under Diddy's influence, but there are dark undercurrents to the success that suggest a system of control where artists may have been ensnared in a web of secrets and vulnerabilities. What do you think about the latest revelations about Diddy? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.